Well, if you'd rather do something else than get stressed out on election night, get some deep insight from the little ones.
Ah! Oh yeah, this is too heavy. What is that storm noise?
I don't know. I think they're building a deck, huh?
Yeah!
Well, it's not even 5 o'clock yet, but it's getting on towards dusk, and we're going to do a campfire tonight and take a look at an upgraded Fiskars, the N7 with a natural hickory handle. What's the point of that? And talk about the ebbs and flows of lifelong friendships. Be going up the day of election night, or election day here in the USA. I'm filming it the night before, so this is Monday night when I'm filming this video. So if anything, I hope that this maybe is a little bit of a distraction for you instead of sitting there for hours and hours in front of the TV. We're trying to follow along, however. So real quick, don't know how I'll splice this all together, but yeah, we recently did the X7 versus the S-Wing. Fiskars reached out to me and was like, hey, we have this new model that is already available overseas. You can get it on the Fiskars site, and will become readily available in the spring of 2021 at most retail outlets here in America. So if you see this and you're like, oh, I gotta look at it, I want all the details, you can just hop on over to the Fiskars website. I will be doing like a full detailed, in-depth, side-by-side, price point, value, all that stuff in the future once they are readily available. But I'm going to be spending basically all winter playing with it from time to time and using it, so I have a really good feel over months and months of use. Anytime I can, I try to do that with you guys. But in concept, we got this hickory handle. We still have some polymer necking here. Really cool, just very high quality looking, great ergonomics, feels very natural. This one is made in Finland, as all Fiskars are. Some people have said that the heat treat is slightly different from, say, like the X7 if you actually get it from Finland. I mean, they're all made in Finland, so I don't understand that quite, but maybe some of you can correct me. And then blacked out head, and then we have a recycled leather scabbard, which is pretty dope, instead of that kind of all polymer. And so had a lot of fun, I've already just used it just a bit, just doing some light chopping and doing some light splitting and carving. So obviously the head is going to perform very similar to your X7, but you're getting some like higher quality features to it that you might want to consider. It is going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive compared to the X7, so that is something to consider. I don't know what the retail price will be. I think MSRP is around like 80 bucks or something like that for this model that you see right here. So we'll obviously talk all about that in long term, when we do the head-to-head and once they become readily available and what's street value, all that stuff. So pretty sweet though, and there is that option now from Fiskars. So after that little spin with the N7, I busted out the Gerber Terracraft, and that 90 degree spine works really well. Got that natural material going. Was able to walk right over here to the fire pit and do a matchless fire today, so that was sweet. If you've been watching these campfire, campsite, whatever you want to call it, videos, I kind of suck at that, but I'm really been trying to practice and get better at that. Boom. Look at that.
But my started fire.
Video coming soon on this. Riding this on my belt. I'm literally just carrying it around the house even, and the property, as well as when we go hiking and backpacking, as I prepare to do the full multi-day, multi-time use with it. So that'll be a lot of fun. Pretty sweet. S30V, USA made. Go check it out. Links below over the Gerber website if you want to check that out as well.
It'll be ready in about like 3 minutes.
Okay, what do you want us to do? Soup's comfortable. I mean, I'd love to just eat right here if you're cool with that. Or are you like, I don't want to deal with all that, come inside and then we'll come back out?
I don't want to deal with it. I can't really.
Do you guys hear this? The camera is rolling. Lame sauce, Mrs. GT, super lame, but that's what happens when you have little infant babies. What are you doing with that graham cracker? You don't know what you're doing with that graham cracker? You guys think here at the channel I'm just like outdoors all the time and like we can never not be outside. That is on sometimes, but sometimes we got to go inside.
No, we're not going to run into the fire.
Why wouldn't we want to run into the fire? Tell me.
Well, I'll get burned.
You'll get burned, and that wouldn't be fun, right?
And we're gonna poop.
You're gonna poop? Does that sound kind of crazy? Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't want to run into the fire, right? What happens if you run into the fire?
Hello.
Yeah, what would happen to you? Be sad?
Beep, beep.
Ouchie? Yeah. So I just want to talk though about friendship here. I just spent a few hours with my like almost at this point lifetime long friend, my buddy Brian. Now my buddy Brian I've known since I was in high school. He was my youth pastor when I was in high school. And we had a pretty big youth group, like 200 kids, you know, so I mean I was one of many people. I served as like a home group leader for him and stuff, and you know it was that type of relationship. But after he moved on and started doing other things, we actually, and I graduated high school, is when we actually started to build a friendship, and we built a friendship. And then he came back on staff. They hired me, the church that I currently work at the as the youth pastor, you know, in replace of him as he was doing a different position. And he and I worked together for several years, and he really has helped the channel in so many different ways. He's invested helping me get, you know, GoPros way back in the day, been my cameraman more times than I can count on more videos, been my partner, you know, on so many different videos. It's just amazing. So a huge shout out to you, Brian. I just love you. And he did Mrs. GT and I's wedding. He was the officiant for the wedding. I mean, he's just been a massive part of my life, and his wife Yolanda. And so it's just amazing to have friendships like that. Now, what happens with many lifetime friendships like that is that there are ebbs and flows. You know, there are ups and downs, and I don't mean necessarily in... Stay away from the camera, Daddy's talking. And I'm not necessarily talking about in the necessarily, you know, like, hard times, like I don't want to talk to you. That sometimes can happen. Brian and I have never really experienced that. Where you're super, like, I mean, he and I would see each other 5 days a week for work, and then we would hang out, and we would go back, you know, backpacking trips and hiking trips, and, you know, testing out gear and doing all kinds of stuff. So I mean, we would see each other 20 hours to, I mean, no, that's not true. We would see each other 60 hours a week oftentimes, you know, depending on the week, with work and then extracurricular, you know, fun and stuff out in the outdoors. And so there was a season of many years like that for him and I. But now, you know, he's moved on. He now lives about an hour away from me, so we don't have that daily connection like we used to. And he's just been super busy, and my life is different, so our schedules really haven't connected for several months, really, to, you know, go out in the outdoors. And so he will swing by my house from time to time when he's down in my area. I wanted to make an effort and go up and see him. And so today. And so it just made me want to talk about that for just a moment. Not only the value of friendships, if you have people like that in your life, cherish them, tell them how much you care about them and how much you love them and how much they mean to you. Don't just assume that that relationship will always be the way it is, because sometimes it moves on, and one day they're going to call you up and be like, hey, I'm leaving, I'm moving, you know, or you know, something's changing, we're not going to see each other anymore, or I'm leaving the job that we work at together, you know, whatever the thing may be. And so we always need to cherish and value those relationships. Never let a time go by that you're not like, dude or dudette, you mean the world to me, you are important to me, I value your friendship. And so and take the time as things, you know, come and go, and who knows, you know, maybe at some point in the future Brian and I's paths will become more entwined, where we see each other a lot more often. It may never be. It may just be kind of like this, from a once a month here and there, and when we can get a hike in, we can, and that might only happen 2-3 times a year, you know. I mean, who knows? I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but that to continue to foster those relationships. Don't, if they're valuable to you, don't let them just go by the wayside and you turn around, spend 2 years, and you haven't spent time with them, you haven't called on them, you haven't checked up on them. I think that's a very important thing with those lifelong, you know, relationships and friendships. So I just encourage you with that. And if you're somebody who is lonely, you know, and you're like, I don't really have that right now, I encourage you maybe reach out to somebody who maybe is just an acquaintance and see if you can build a friendship with them. You know, step outside your comfort zone and outside the box. You know, maybe you're kind of introverted, but you know you need that friendship. You know, pursue it. Tell people, I'm looking for a friendship. Are you willing to like hang out with me and, you know, just spend time with me? Not in a desperate way, but just in a like, I want to build community and I want to build relationship with you. I think that's very important in this life more than ever, with pandemics and shutdowns and life and just craziness. It's good to have those people who can speak life, can speak encouragement, and that we can share life with.
No.
Guys, can you go inside? Don't fight. Don't fight. Guys, come here. Both of you. Come here. Both of you. Okay. It's okay. You both wanting to get inside. Is that what the deal is?
No.
What's wrong?
I don't want to go inside.
You don't want to go inside, and he does. We'll let him go inside. There you go. Okay. You can hang out with me for a few more minutes until Daddy's done, and then we're gonna all eat inside together. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I want to get a cracker.
You want to get a cracker? Okay, go ahead. Okay. Both of you be nice to each other. Hug Pete. Hug him. Hug him. There you go. Good job, guys. I don't know how much of that I'll keep in the shot, but the boys are just arguing with each other, and it's good to even build that friendship between the boys and foster that. Yeah, guys, you're awesome. Know that I care about you. There are many people out there. You are valuable. Build relationships, build friendships, and just because the familiarity, meaning like they're around you a bunch, may go up and down depending on your life. If there are those valuable relationships, keep them going. Foster them. Throw fuel on the fire, if you will. Take time out. I mean, that was I had to be intentional with my friendship with Brian by getting in the car, driving 40 minutes up to see him, spend time with him, fellowship. We prayed for each other, we loved on each other, and then, you know, drive all the way back through downtown, which I hate doing, and to get back here just to connect, because that relationship is valuable to me, and I know investment will throw fuel on the fire to keep that going. So guys, you're awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope that you guys just have a good night, particularly this evening when you're watching. And with all the craziness going on, we'll find out what happens here in the next few days. And regardless of what happens, I'm not stressed, because whoever is in the White House does not determine my life. Who sits on the throne, that's Jesus Christ, determines my life. So, and I know he always has the best for those who love him. So, yeah, don't stress. Do not let your heart be troubled. Love you guys. Always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. See you out there.